Hey, this is Al McGee with YETicket.com. The film I am reviewing right now is called Let Him Go. Well, this is with Kevin Costner and Diane Lane. Well, you know, this is like their third time acting together. Remember, they were the mother and father of Superman? That's what they did together. Well, this is about their son and their grandson. Now, this is set in the 1960s, and you know, in America, that was a turbulent time, race relations and things like that for America. But they live in Montana. Yeah, that's right, on a farm where they're breaking horses and things like that. George is a retired sheriff. And, you know, Margaret, she's a housewife. She used to do horses, but not anymore. But they have a son. His name is James. And the son is played by Ryan Bruce. So James marries Lorna, which is played by Kaylee Carter. So while they're married, they have a baby and things like that. But one day, James fell off a horse and broke his neck and died. So we get to 3 years later, we see Lorna is remarrying a guy named Donnie Weeboy, played by Will Britton. But at the wedding, it seemed kind of strange because there are no wee boys at the wedding. And also, she, the bride, she doesn't have any family anyway. So there's no one there for her family except for the Blackledge. A few days later or sometime, Margaret, she goes into town and she sees the newlywed couple. But she sees Weeboy slap her and her grandson. So Marguerite goes to their house, you know, with some cakes, things like that. But she wants to find out what's going on. But they left. And Weeboy left with his new wife and his new son to go with his family in the Dakotas. Marguerite wants to find them. She wants to bring the grandson back to her. Now, she approaches George about this because George doesn't know what's going on. George sees Marguerite, you know, packing up, going somewhere. Well, where you going? Well, she says, I'm going to go get our grandson. He said, wait a minute, we're old. We don't know nothing about taking care of kids, and we're old. She said, I don't care. I'm going to go get my grandson. So she explained what happened. So George said, okay, I'll go with you, things like that. So they get to the Dakotas, you know, after asking people about the Wee Boys and kind of finding out they do have some type of reputation. So they get to South Dakota and they meet the Wee Boys. The first Wee Boy they met was Bill Wee Boy, which is played by Jeffrey Donovan. That's a nice guy, nice actor. I always enjoy watching him. And he's the oldest of the Wee Boys. So he invites them to the family dinner. And there at the family dinner, they meet the head of the family is Blanche Weeboy, which is played by Leslie Manville. And she's running everything, you know. But again, they did not really go into who the Wee Boys really are. What did they do? Why are they so dangerous? What makes them dangerous? Were they into drug dealing? Were they into other things? Well, you know, he did make one racist comment about Jews in this film, but what else do they do? Why are they so dangerous? And also Blanche, you know, she's the leader. She talks loud. She gives out orders and things like that. And while they were at dinner, the only woman that showed up at dinner was their ex-daughter-in-law. She was the only female besides Blanche and Marguerite at the dinner. The other boys didn't even have any wives or girlfriends, anything like that. So I guess the book has more detail about that than the movie. Because remember, the book is kind of long and the movie is not that long. But anyway, I found the similarity between these two women, Marguerite and Blanche. They're both in control. They both control the family, and they both want their wills to be done. Remember, Marguerite and George is in South Dakota because Marguerite wanted to capture and keep her grandson. Well, things happen, and while they're at the dinner, it was so much tension. This is some of the best felt tension in a movie I've seen in a long time. This is one thing I like about this film. The tension, and also, of course, the wee boy said, we ain't giving that grandson back. We keeping him. And he seemed to be the only young child, too, in that family, because all the other young men are grown. I felt the story was very appealing to me because it was for love of family, but at what cost would you go through to save a family member? Because I have seen families don't do that, but I have seen families who have done that. And because of the tension, but not only that, the acting. I felt that Leslie Manville as Blanche, she was very terrifying. Not only that, Diane Lane, she stayed in her lane. She played a very good part. And of course, Kevin Costner, you know who he is and what he can do. He did it in this film. And I feel that the director, Thomas Bischoff, he did a good job with what he had in order to tell the story from the book. But I still feel the book probably had much more information than the movie, but they did give us enough to enjoy this film. So I'm giving this 3 palm trees out of 4, 3 stars out of 4. And I would highly recommend you see this film. You can see it either at the movies, maybe video on demand. I'm not too sure, but I know it's going to be at the movies. And you will enjoy a good movie. Hey, thanks for watching my review. I'm Al McGee with YETicket.com.
This is your entertainment ticket. Latest and greatest movie reviews and interviews. This is your entertainment ticket. YETicket.com. Yeah.
YETicket. Get your YETicket to ride.